TPS? I'm Genevieve and you are watching TPS Nights Online.
Alright guys, here we are. We're going to do a watermelon eating contest. Comment down below real quick whether or not you think Nala's going to win or if I'm going to win. Hey Mark, get set, go.
Hey, what is up TPS? I'm joining you from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. You can hear the cars rolling by, golf carts, the breeze probably. Hopefully it's not too loud for y'all, but hey, we don't stop. We never stop. We haven't stopped. We're gonna have TPS nights no matter where we are and what we're doing. So I'm joining you from my vacation, but I'm excited to jump in because I miss you guys already. I'm glad we still can join in online, but I kind of want to pick up where we dropped off last week. Last week we talked about the importance of our spiritual lives and how that you individually and I individually am in charge of my spiritual life. We can't depend on our parents, we can't depend on our grandparents or anybody else to get us into heaven. It's up to us. It's up to our personal relationship with God. And we have to take responsibility for that. And here in 2020 and with COVID and everything, that's maybe a little bit more difficult, but we can do it, and I promise we can. And I was sitting here, I'm going, I'm not at church, I'm not with my TPS people tonight. I'm all the way in the lower part of the state, but I thought about something. God was always with us, and he always has been. See, he's omnipresent. There's a word that we describe God as omnipresent. That means he's everywhere at once. He's always with us. So I started thinking about different Bible stories where it kind of feels like God wasn't there, but he was. And I thought about Daniel. This is one of those stories that we probably hadn't heard about since like Sunday school with the little felt boards and all that stuff, or a long time. We don't typically tell this story a lot. And I think it's crazy because it's a great story. It's one of my friend's favorite stories, in fact. And so I kind of refreshed my own mind, and we were reading from Daniel chapter 6. And in the beginning of the chapter, you can see where there's a group of administrators working for the king. One of those administrators' name was Daniel. And Daniel found so much favor with the king that the king was going to put him in charge of everything else. The dude was just on top of things. But it made the other guys jealous. Isn't it funny when we're operating at our best, and especially operating in the Lord's will, how not everybody gets on board and people are against us, and there's always things that comes up. So these men plotted against Daniel, and they came up with this idea that they're going to make this law that if anybody prayed, because they had to trick him in order to get them. They couldn't find any laws to break up Daniel. They had to trick him. So they went to the king, they played off his joy and his pride, and he said, "Hey, you're awesome, right?" And the king's like, "Yeah, I'm great." He said, "Well, why don't you make a law that says if anybody prays to anybody but you for 30 days, they get to go thrown into the lion's den." King thought, that's not a bad idea. Why not? Let's try this. That sounds great. Because our pride goes to our head when we're in a point of leadership sometimes. And so they made this law, and then they find Daniel praying like he always does, praying to God, and they said, "Hey, you violated the rule." So they go to the king, and the king was so panicked by this when he found out who it was. He spent the entire rest of the day trying to figure out how to save Daniel because he trusted him. In fact, he was going to put him in charge of the kingdom, we just said. So he tried all day long, and they said, you made another law that said you cannot change a law. And so the king had to throw Daniel into the lion's den. They roll a stone over it in front of the den, and then we pick up. Quick little change of scenery. Had to get my Bible out. I just wanted to make sure I read this word for word for y'all. Hopefully we can enjoy some soothing waves, not so much so an annoying white noise, but I think we should be all right. So reading from chapter 6, verse 19, it says, "At first light of dawn, the king got up and hurried to the lion's den. When he came near the den, he called to Daniel in an anguished voice, 'Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God whom you serve continuously been able to rescue you from the lions?' Daniel answered, 'May the king live forever. My God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of lions. They have not hurt me because I was found innocent in his sight, nor have I ever done anything wrong before you, your majesty.' The king was overjoyed and gave orders to lift Daniel out of the den. And when Daniel was lifted from the den, no wound was found on him, because he had trusted in his God. At the king's command, the men who had falsely accused Daniel were brought in and thrown into the lion's den, along with their wives and children." That is savage. And before they reached the floor of the den, the lions overpowered them and crushed all their bones. I mean, they devoured them. Then King Darius wrote to all the nations and peoples of every language in all the earth, "May you prosper greatly. I issue a decree that in every part of my kingdom, people must fear and reverence the God of Daniel. For he is in the living God, and he endures forever. His kingdom will not be destroyed. His dominion will never end. He rescues and he saves," talking about Jesus. "He performs signs and wonders in the heavens and on earth. He has rescued Daniel from the power of the lions." So Daniel prospered during the reign of Darius and the reign of Cyrus the Persian. Have you ever been in a situation where everything looked completely wrong? I mean, completely out of hand. Like, where is God? Like, what am I supposed to do? I'm panicking. Like, what about this? What about that? What about what? I panic all the time like that. The crazy thing is that every single time when I give it over to God, God's in control. I know we're in a weird place. We're in a different place. Youth ministry, as what you're used to, may be completely different right now, and you're going, "Whoa, what's going on? Coronavirus, what's going on?" But it's okay, because at the end of the day, God is in control. We may not see it. We may feel like we're sitting in a den completely surrounded by lions, but that's all right. Whatever you're dealing with right now, know that God is always around you. He is completely omnipresent. What does that mean? He's everywhere at once. When you think you're in the den of the lions, or you think you're sitting in church right next to God, He is with you. And that's the most amazing part about God. One of the most amazing parts. We're going to continue talking about what God is. The thing is, we're going to be praying about, and we're going to be talking about this next series about what God is. And right now, I'm letting you know that God is omnipresent. Whether you're at home, whether you're at school, whether you're at vacation sitting by the beach, God always is, even in the midst of a lion's den. And if you will be the coffee bean like we talked about last week, maybe a king, maybe not so much, but maybe a king like Darius will make a decree that goes, whoever your God, plug your name in, whoever Daniel's God is what everybody must serve. You could be the difference maker. Once again, it's a reminder that you could be the difference maker, but more importantly, it's because our God is always with us. Hey guys, I love y'all, I miss y'all, but guess what? Y'all gotta check out this next challenge. It's gonna be fun, it's gonna be awesome. I've already dressed for the occasion. Let's go. Comment down below. I wanna know, what was your favorite memory from this summer? Whether it be something we did as a group, whether it's something you did on your own vacation, tell us a funny story. Comment down below your favorite memory about the summer and check out this challenge. And if you think you can beat our time and our record, I want to see it. Tag me in a video, send it to me, text it to me, and you'll be featured in our next video. We'll see y'all in a second.
All right, guys, here we are. We're going to do a watermelon eating contest. I thought the best strategy was to dress like the watermelon, so you're already down a point. So first one to eat it down to the rind wins. Are you ready for this? Alright, comment down below real quick whether or not you think Nala's going to win or if I'm going to win. And what kind of punishment we should have. On your mark. Get set. Go. Really? think it's safe to say I'm done. Yeah, maybe the rain will wash away your tubes of losing.
Mic drop.
Don't worry, guys. You won't kill me yet. Tune in next week. Send us a video if you think you can do better, and we'll see y'all Thursday online.